y'all could disagree with this all you want. I really feel like jobs should make you take a personality test. I feel like too many people are working jobs for the money and not because it's what they truly, genuinely are good at and what they want to do. A lot of y'all are nurses and y'all don't give a fuck about people. Y'all be treating them people so bad in them nursing homes for a check. Nah, we need to do stuff that aligns with our personality. I'm a firm believer when you do what you're passionate about, when you do what you're naturally good at, that's where the abundance comes. That's where the wealth comes. That's where the money starts to flow. It's never going to connect if you're only doing things for the money. So I really think we need to start taking personality tests, because a lot of y'all personalities don't match the job that you're in. Y'all don't like people, but you get these people jobs. Like, work from home. You know what I'm saying? Like, and this is just my opinion. Feel free to disagree. It's cool. But I think we need to start taking personality tests, because some of y'all ain't got it. You ain't got it you got the money, but you ain't got the personality. You ain't got the heart. You ain't got the kindness to be doing this type of job that requires you to be patient and kind and nurturing. Baby, you ain't got it.
Hello everyone, this is Emmanuel Cook. We will be reacting to a new video today, so make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe down below, and let's get into the video.
Not everyone is meant to pursue their passion. Passion is not sustainable. As someone who's studying STEM with an art background, I am here to tell you firsthand that sometimes passion is solely not enough to push forward your dreams. And if you chase your passion, a lot of people have this preconception that you will literally never suffer. You'll never have to work a 9 to 5. You will work on your own terms, and you'll do something that you love for the rest of your life. And that is simply untrue, because first of all, burnout still exists, and it exists a lot when you're pursuing self-determination theory, which is the theory that when you do something for someone else, it becomes less enjoyable. Your hobby, your love, your passion will turn into a chore when you're doing it for someone else. So you have to truly make sure that if you are pursuing this passion as a career path, you're ready to suffer, you're ready to see the worst of it, and you're ready to be so humbled. Now, I'm not saying don't chase your dreams. I'm just saying make sure your dreams actually align with the life that you want, because more than likely, if you're pursuing your passion, you are going to have a lot of failures, you're going to have a lot of difficulty, a lot of late nights working and overworking. Even if you're your own boss, you're going to be overworking sometimes, and a lot of recalibration to adjust and fit what other people want and not just what you want. And this is coming from someone who monetized her work. This is coming from someone who built an audience around her creativity before it fizzled out. This is coming from someone who's had her art showcased in galleries and magazines and interviews. I would never want art to be my job. Ever. Because first of all, there's so much more to life. Why would I go to art school if I already know how to paint? I want to learn. I want to know more. And instead, I can focus that new knowledge and integrate it with my passion. Second of all, my income will be a sustainable way for me to fund those hobbies and have them for myself without relying on those hobbies to fund themselves. And I think the biggest reminder is you can still do things you love if you pursue a different career or educational path. You're not cooked. It's not over. You can still have hobbies. You can still have multiple personality traits, and if anything, you get to grow in so many more ways than you ever imagined when you branch out and you work in multiple things rather than just fixating on one. And this account is a reminder of that.
Finding your passion is a myth, but it's not for the reason that you think. I recently read an article from a psychologist, MBA, and executive coach, and she articulated this concept in the best way I've ever encountered. So let's see if I can do this justice. Finding your passion isn't impossible, but it just depends on how you define it, and you have two options: a fixed mindset or a growth mindset. People with a fixed mindset think that finding your passion is this passive thing. One day it's going to be revealed to you, and that passion itself, that thing that you're going to engage in, is going to be enough motivation on its own because it's your passion to motivate you to do it. The problem, though, with this mindset is that when you find something that you're interested in and you start to feel passionate about, the work associated with actually achieving any goals you set there may be enough to dissuade you from pursuing that passion after all. You know, things take work. You're not just going to know how to do this thing from day one. And that in itself could be what turns you down a different path. A growth mindset, on the other hand, thinks about finding your passion more as a process of developing your interests, your skills, your experiences through a set of learnings, of challenges, of failure. It's a process. It's like building your sense of style. You know, most people don't wake up and have this perfect wardrobe. It's this process of trying different things on, seeing what fits you, seeing what you like, and slowly starting to build this holistic view of yourself and what you like. And this quote from the article blew my mind. Let me show you. Finding your passion means to pursue that which you're already interested in, which may have different facets to it. You might want to be a lawyer, but you are also interested in fiction writing. You can do both, and they both might inform the other. Because it's a developing oriented process rather than a finding process, goals are met and accomplished throughout because there isn't one ultimate goal. I don't know about you guys, but this totally challenges my notion of finding the career you're meant to be in, the career you're passionate about. Because it's basically saying that there isn't just one thing that's meant for you. So the best thing you can start to do is to start investing your time and your money and your effort into things that interest you. And it's okay if there's not necessarily a goal associated with them or you're not going to be making money off of them right away, but it's that intentional investment in that thing that's inherently going to make you happier and going to lead you to the thing you're passionate about.
I met this girl yesterday who was telling me about her job and how she's super passionate about what she's doing and all that. It was so amazing. I loved listening to it. And then she looks at me and she goes, "So what are you passionate about?" And I just looked at her and I was like there was a time when I was like really into like the royal family. But like I'm not like passionate about like a job. I don't know. A job is a job. I really wish I had something where I could like yap about it for hours and be like, I'm so passionate about this, but I just don't have that. I don't know if that's normal.
Growing up, my parents instilled this belief in me that passions and careers are separate. What they meant is that you shouldn't be looking for a career you're passionate about, but will give you the opportunity to do the things you're passionate about, which makes a ton of sense and is part of the reason why I'm getting my teaching credential right now. I'm not crazy super passionate about teaching, but it gives me the time off to do the things I love to do. But here's the one problem with that philosophy. I don't know the exact statistic, but basically 25% of your life is going to be spent at work. And here's my thing. 25% is too much to not be passionate about what you do for work. Now, if it was 10%, I think I would be more on board with my parents' argument. And I just want to say there is validity to their argument. But because of the world we live in today in America, this hustle culture, we really are spending 25% of our time at work. I love life so much, and I want to see and do and spend time in nature and explore. So that 25% is so valuable to me. I came to this realization at an early age that I wanted to do something that would make me feel alive, even in career. Literally at 19 years old, I started my hiking Instagram page. And it's crazy because I have seen a passion of mine become a career. And yeah, some days being a content creator isn't always the best. However, I love going outside and making outdoors content. It's literally my favorite part of the day. What's so great about social media too, it's like my baby. It's something I created. It's something that I wanted to do. No one else hired me. I'm not working for anyone else. I'm working for myself. No disrespect to my parents. I think they bring up an amazing point about how time off is so important. But I've been lucky enough to find a career where it gives me time off and I love what I do. Praise God for that. This is not to say that I'm not going to end up teaching. However, what I have going now, I am just feel so blessed, so thankful. And I've seen a lot of God's blessings in my life because of what I'm doing right now. And it really is just an answered prayer and something I didn't even know was possible. I just feel so grateful for. So if you're wondering, it is in fact possible to have a passion and career all in one.
I have a question. In order to be passionate about something, do you have to be good at it? For example, I love sports. I love being on a team. I love catching balls. I love scoring touchdowns and making my serves. But I think part of that is that I've always been very naturally athletic. While some people might spend a lot of time learning how to swing a bat, I seem to pick things up like that really easily. One thing I wonder is that if some all-given power were to take away my athletic ability starting tomorrow, would I still love playing sports? Or is it the other way around? Is being passionate about something the thing that makes you good at it? Because you'll always work harder at it than anybody else. This is something I think about a lot, especially when I think about what I want to be doing in 5 to 10 years with my life. How do you know when you're truly passionate about something versus being incentivized to like something because it makes you money or that you're just inherently good at it? So I'm curious as to what people think about this.
Have you ever heard of the term multi-passionate entrepreneur or portfolio career? Let me share a bit about it to you right now. A multi-passionate entrepreneur has different businesses based on their passions. You could love knitting, you could love cooking, but then you might decide you want a skydiving business as well. Portfolio career is similar. It's passion-led, but it's different jobs. You could be freelancing as a graphic designer. You could work in a pub on a Friday night. You could also be a doctor part-time. So my challenge to you for 2025 is, have you thought about whether you want to be a multi-passionate entrepreneur or begin a portfolio career? Let me know in the comments.
Can we talk about how hard it is to find a job that you like? And notice I didn't say love. I just mean like. Of course, we would all love to find a job that we love and we're passionate about, but I feel like it's almost an impossible task just to find something that you semi-like. I'm still really young. I'm in my 20s. I'm figuring out what the heck I want to do with my life. And I know it's going to take time, but I don't know how much time. No one's telling me. And it'd be nice to just have one thing figured out. At least a career, But I don't know. The thought of work in general just makes my brain hurt. It's a very strange thought to me that people actually like doing work. I do think that you have to work in order to truly enjoy rest. But, we're overworked. So it's like, then you don't even get to enjoy your rest because you're burnt out. And then your rest is only like a day long. Maybe 2. If you didn't make plans for that weekend already. I need a job that doesn't feel like a job. Honestly, anything will end up feeling like a job at some point. Like even your hobbies, if you do your hobby, I'm sure it ends up feeling like a job at some point. I don't want the conventional 9 to 5. I feel like there's just so much more than the 9 to 5. And honestly, nowadays, people are making so much more money not doing that conventional 9 to 5 corporate job and actually having a flexible schedule. But I know that people want stability, a consistent income, and health insurance and all that, which pretty important, I guess. It's hard. It's hard finding what you want to do. There's too many jobs out there for you to just be stuck in something that you don't like for 40 plus years. Heck no. Anyways, those are just some thoughts I have.
Do not follow your dreams. We hear from the older generation that we should pick a career that we're most passionate about. And if we pick a job we love, we'll never work a day in our lives. But oftentimes this isn't really realistic. Like take me for example, my dream ever since I was a kid was I wanted to own my own restaurant, be a chef, something having to do with food or cooking. But when I sat down for a second and really thought about owning a restaurant or being a chef, you have the excruciating hours, over 90% of restaurants close within the first 3 years, and less than 1% of chefs actually make a good living being a chef. And after thinking about it, I realized that that career is not going to give me what I want out of life. I want to be there every night with my family. I want to drive a shiny Mercedes. I want to live in a 6-bedroom mansion. Like if somebody came up to me and they were like, "Yo, Griff, are you passionate about ATMs? Do you love going to work every day?" No! I am not passionate about ATMs, and running this business sometimes it actually sucks. The reason I got into this business is because it makes the most money doing the least amount of work. If you're able to make a career out of something you're passionate about, then more power to you. But for the average person, it's just not feasible.
A quick reminder, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and let's continue the video.
The algorithm, man, it's doing the work because I'm at that point. I'm transitioning from career ladder mindset to lily path mindset where I allow myself to explore my passions even if it's not the way that I envisioned it, because I had a career plan since I was 11 years old. I don't know if it's a cultural thing, I'm Latina, but I was raised with that career ladder mindset. That's the way you need to go to be successful. And if you veer off from that, it is failure. It is you're not capable, you're chaos. And that led to me now in my PhD. It took depression and anxiety forcing me to realize this is not where I need to be, or this specific work is not fulfilling enough, and that's okay. That doesn't mean I'm a failure. It means I need to explore other outlets, because this work is not allowing me to manifest my creativity in the ways that I want. I need more of an outlet, and that's okay. That's okay. We shouldn't be afraid to change our minds, to change direction. It's part of life, because life isn't linear. So you shouldn't think of your career path, or your life, which is, your career is part of your life, as something that's going to be linear. There's going to be bumps, there's going to be curves, that's going to be the beauty of it. Because come to think of it, if it was linear and you already saw exactly everything that was going to happen, that would kind of be boring a bit. Or at least in my ADHD mind, it has become that. I need to explore other things and see how that manifests, or find a way to do more than what I'm doing right now. And it's okay to want to do and pursue more than one passion. It doesn't mean you're undecided or you're uncommitted to one or the other. It's just how you manifest your purpose. So from an anxious multi-potentialite PhD student on break, thank you for opening up the floor to this subject.
Which one? Passion versus the money? From my experience, I think that your passion should start as a side hustle and then go from there. It should not be the main thing at the start. You know why? It's because you have bills. You have things to pay for. And a lot of the times, your passions will not be earning money early on. You have to build up to it. You have to work up to it. So from the start, Get a job that pays and then reinvest into your passions. That is the smartest way to do it. And if you're able to earn more from it, God bless you.
I'm so passionate about data analytics, said no one ever. Most people who work tech jobs aren't doing it for their passions, they're doing it for the paycheck. I'm passionate about the life that learning data analytics has given me. Before I taught myself data analytics online, I was making $28K a year as an academic researcher. I didn't transition into data analytics because of passion. I literally just wanted to make more money. Most people in tech won't admit this to you, but they don't actually love tech. It's just work. It's just another office job. They love the salary, the benefits, the flexibility, the ability to work from home, the PTO. There's nothing else that offers the flexibility that tech jobs offer. I know some people are going to be triggered by this, but you have to work anyway. You may as well do a job that makes you a lot of money. Work is not for finding your passion. Work is for funding your passion.
Here's why putting 100% effort into your job might be a bad decision. Now, before an army of contractors descend upon me, let me just say, if your job is something you're passionate about, work extra hard. Show up early, work late. Do a Rocky montage of you sweeping up the shop floor after hours. That's great. But if you're not passionate about your job or there's no possibility for a meaningful promotion, do your job, just don't do anything extra. Hard work in the right circumstance can get you where you want to be in life. But hard work in the wrong circumstance is just going to get you exploited by a Chili's manager. And I get it, a lot of jobs will say stuff like, we're looking for an employee who will go above and beyond what we ask of them. But what they're basically saying is, we're looking for an employee that will do extra labor we didn't pay them for. And I personally think it's time that jobs stop asking us for labor handouts. Just to use their language, I think they should pull themselves up from their bootstraps and pay people for the work they do. What I'm saying is, definitely do your job. Just really try to be sure you're not doing someone else's job.
What's up, TikTok family? What's up? What's up? This is your boy Major Keys. Look, I was sitting here thinking about, why so many people are not following their passion. Why people don't want to do what gives them peace, joy, happiness, love. And I realized that they rather chase money over happiness. They rather hustle hard and be miserable than to chase happiness, love. And all of in all of that, money is involved as well. But you want the money right now. And it's okay. You could still do your hustle and follow your passion at the same time. It may not bring you as much money, but guess what? It's going to give you peace, joy, happiness, love, and everything that I already said at the beginning. So I'm making this video to y'all. Work on your passion. Work on what's for you. If you don't know, figure out what you love to do for free. That's what your passion is. That's what your gift is. That's what your talent is. One of my passions is to dance. I love dancing. One of them. I love helping people. I love caring for people. I'm a caregiver. I'm also looking to be a missionary, get into missionary work. So I do things a lot of times out of my heart because I care. Do I get paid a lot? No, not at all. But I know it's on the way. See, when you start working on your passion, God will open doors for more income to come to you. But you got to put the work in. You just can't do it for a little bit and say, I'll do it later. No, it's not going to work like that. You have to be dedicated to your passion. That's why there's a lot of people who dedicate their time to their passion, their gifts or talent are millionaires, if not millionaires, six-figure earners. Because they dedicate their time and they figure out how to make more money out of their passion. So when you're consistent into your gift, more people see it. And they'll start coming to you, flocking to you, like I don't know what. So I'm telling you, find your gift, find your passion, find your talent, and use it. That's what we're meant to do, is use our talent, gift, and passion. And if we don't use it, we're wasting our time on this earth, working a 9-to-5 that don't even care about you. Find your passion, people. And it's so crazy because I've always been in my passion, but I never realized it until it dawned on me. I care about people. I love giving care to my clients. I'm a nurse aide, and I love what I do. I love it. I'm dedicated to it. I go to the extreme sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like I do massages and stuff like that, but I just love it. I love it, man. I can be tired and I still do it because I care. I love it. I love it. There's many other things that I want to get into that I'm passionate about, but that's just one of the things that I like to do. But I'm just telling y'all, man, this is the time, this is the place, and this is the hour. Find your passion if you don't know. And if you do know, start doing it. Start doing it. Matter of fact, do it more than you do in your hustle. Because I'm telling you, It will pay off. It will pay off. But that's all said and done. I just want to encourage y'all, find your gift. God has given each and every one a gift. Whether it's a big platform or a small platform, it doesn't matter. It's still meaningful. So I'm saying to you today, focus on your gift, not a job. Peace.
2 years ago, I was a burnt out millennial that decided to quit my good paying full-time job to go find myself and figure out what I wanted to do for the rest of my life, and regulate my nervous system. And in the past 2 years, I have had a complete mindset shift on what it means to find your passion or purpose. I've realized in that time that your job and your passion don't have to be one and the same. I have a full-time job and I work for an amazing company with amazing values and a great mission, but it's not the thing that creates my entire identity. I also have my little passion project on the side. Does it make me as much money as my full-time job? No. Not yet, at least, right? But that's okay with me. But if you're in that place of trying to figure out how to like meld the two together, here's my unsolicited advice for you. Have your job and have your journey. Your job is what you do, and your journey is what you share authentically, that it's only going to come from you, that eventually is going to create your passion and your purpose for yourself. Stop trying to become an imposter of what you see everybody else out here doing to find their purpose and be successful, and just put yourself out there authentically and share your journey. Because when people begin to see themselves in you, all of a sudden your passion, your purpose becomes much more clear to you. It becomes the thing that you do, the message that you tell, the story that you create that allows others to see a way forward.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but never feel guilty about chasing the money in your career. I left a job I love to make almost double what I used to. And I used to spend a lot of time thinking if I made the right choice, is money more important than a job you love? But if an emergency happens, and they do happen, life is a pay-to-play sort of game. I had to deal with some huge emergency expenses that would have put me in debt if I had stayed in my last job. And this just totally changed my perspective that work is just means to an end.
I just got laid off today and I felt compelled to come on here and spread a little message. Also, my skin looks so glowy and amazing because I just got a facial. But anyways, what I'm here to tell you is that what society has told you about stability and looking for a job is all a lie. I feel like we grow up and we're told like, oh, you need to go to college, you need to get a degree, and then like you go out into the workforce and you get a job. Obviously, there are certain jobs that are more stable than others. Just for background, I work in marketing. I did things for social media, so whatever. But truly, there is no stability. There's no promise tomorrow that you're gonna have your job. If you have a passion that's burning inside of you, or there's something that you really want to do in this life, but you're too scared because you're like, oh, how am I gonna make a living off of that? How do I know that I'm gonna be okay? How do I know that it's gonna be a stable job to have because it's not a societal norm? I'm telling you, it doesn't matter. Like, if that's what you feel in your soul, that is what you are meant to do. And I also am just like a firm believer in the fact that like everything happens for a reason. Obviously, initially I was really upset, but as I think about it more and think about the conversations that I've had with my friends about what it is I want to do, who I want to be, it's like this needed to happen. I don't know, that's my message. If you resonate, this is your sign to pursue and chase your craziest dreams, because especially if you're young, even if you're old, like whatever, chase your dreams. Love you guys. Bye.
Nobody would do shit if you didn't have to for a paycheck, and that's not to say you can't enjoy your job. You can still like your job, but if you didn't have to do it for a paycheck, would you work for free? There's such a stigma around prioritizing money over passion for work, but I went into data analytics for the money. I was a biomedical researcher making $28K a year, and I got a $70K entry-level data analytics job after just teaching myself online for free. Am I passionate about data analytics? No. But I was a lot happier making $70K than I was when I was making $28K. Life is not cheap these days, and to be honest, I wasn't passionate about my old job either. If you have to pick between being passionate about work or having a comfortable life, which one would you pick? At your current job, are you getting passion or money or neither? If it's neither, tell me in the comments which one you'd rather have.
We're making our second coffee of the day because it's Friday and it's been quite a long week, but I wanted to talk a little bit about kind of like jobs and passion, I guess, in the workplace. I work a full-time job. I will say that it's not something that I'm crazy passionate about. I like it. It's okay. It's a job. I mean, but it's okay. Seen a lot of people who like have been really exploring careers and finding their passion, and I'm just kind of wondering, and I don't know if anybody else has this thought, but
wondering if it's worth it to be passionate about your career, or wondering if it's better to find a career that could support a lifestyle that you're passionate about. The big thing that I want to do is I want to travel, and I want to be able to experience things like when I'm not working. And currently that's not something that my job really allows me to do. I work really weird hours, so it's hard to kind of go out and explore when you're at home working. I'm wondering if it would be better to kind of find a job that would support a lifestyle that you want instead of supporting something that you're passionate about during the workday. So tricky though. I've seen so many people post about like not knowing what they're passionate about or trying to find their passion, and I don't know, I guess we'll get there. But that's what I've been thinking about a lot lately, and I'm just wondering if anybody has kind of similar or the same thought.
Nothing that I'm passionate about. Literally nothing.
You don't have to be passionate about your job. I'm sure follow your passions is well-intentioned career advice, but it often keeps people stuck because they don't know what they're passionate about, or they are too burnt out to even figure out what that is. At the end of the day, life is really short, and we can't spend 8+ hours of our day doing something that doesn't excite or engage us or leaves us drained. Passion isn't the prerequisite for finding fulfilling work. Instead, focus on your values. What are some of the problems that you want to help solve on a societal level? What pisses you off? What do you want to be remembered for? You also want to engage your zone of genius. What tasks give you energy and help you enter into a state of flow? And then just use your non-work hours doing things that bring you joy and fill your cup back up. What are you curious about? Use that curiosity and explore, because that exploration is what makes people passionate, but it's not the first step.
I am getting so sick of people saying, why are you looking for your passion in a career? Just get a job. You're there to make money, not enjoy your life. You can enjoy your life outside of your job. Look, we're going to do some math, okay? There are 7 days in a week and 24 hours in a day, right? That's 168 hours a week. Let's assume that you get a healthy amount of sleep and actually get the full 8 hours. That's 56 hours a week, leaving you with 112 hours a week that you're actually awake. Full-time jobs on average are 40 to 50 hours a week, so let's just average it at 45. You're spending 40% of the time that you are awake the entire week at work. And that's including weekends. That's not even just Monday to Friday. If we're talking Monday to Friday, it's actually 56% of the time that you're awake that you are spending at work. Either way, it's about half the time. Now, why would you want to spend half the time that you're awake doing something you absolutely hate? Especially because a good chunk of that remaining time, you're going to be commuting to said job that you hate and doing basic activities of daily living. I don't know about you, but I don't want to hate half the life I have left. And then there's the whole, oh, but you can use that immense amount of money that you're making at the job you hate to have fun with the rest of the time that you're awake. Are you really, though? In today's economy? Depending on how long your commute and shower takes you every single day, you have about 50 to 60 hours left a week to go play.
Where?
Yeah, sure, there's a lot of free things you can do with your family in your free time. But I thought you were making all of that money so that you could go do something fun and adventurous with your family. Have a fun life. Oh, wait. Are you actually only making that money because the economy sucks and you have to make that much in order to survive at this point? Or making lots of money to have a fun, adventurous life is turning into needing to make a lot of money so that I can afford my payments on my bills? So if the end result of the amount of fun you're going to have in your life is the same, why not do something you actually enjoy and figure out how to make a living off of it? Be creative. There's a lot of different things you can do. You don't have to be an accountant to survive in this world. Unless you like being an accountant. I hate math, so that's not my thing. Whatever you choose, though, don't waste half your life in an office that you hate so that you can make money in order to have fun. The economy sucks. That's not going to happen. It'd be much easier to have a fulfilling life by just enjoying what you do at work.
I just posted that I left my Rad Tech program after about 10 weeks. And I am a former teacher. I left last year, started Rad Tech, thought I would love it, realized I don't love it, and now I'm going to go into health IT. And a couple of people have commented, I just don't know what I'm passionate about. How do you know what you're passionate about? How do you find a job that you love? And that's a great question, because I had that same question. And I've been really envious of people that seem to have that thing that they just love to do. You know the saying, like, if you find something you love, then you'll never work a day in your life. I have come to realize that I don't think that that's true for everyone. What if you're just meant to have a job? What if your job is just a job? What if you're not passionate about your job? I believe that you can still have an incredible work ethic and not be passionate about your job. You can like your job, but that's different than being passionate. And I think that's okay. What if you're the type of person that is just meant to have a job, but your passions are supposed to be found outside of work? What if you focus on finding hobbies that you're passionate about? Start indulging your curiosity, because that's going to change depending on your season of life, depending on your age, depending on a lot of factors. And that's what I've started to realize about myself, is that I was looking for like that magical job, the one that's just going to give me that, oh my God, I love this job feeling. And I don't really have that about anything. And I've realized like that's okay for me. I'm going to take that energy and I'm going to put it towards hobbies, and I'm going to find a job that I like, that fulfills a lot of things that I'm looking for in a career. I'm going to take the pressure off of myself of finding one that I just am obsessed with. Maybe you're not meant to be obsessed with your job. Maybe you're just meant to like it and be obsessed with your hobbies.
There's no such thing as a perfect job. The only perfect job is the one that you create from scratch, really. That's it. It's the one that you make yourself from scratch, from the ground up. That's the only time. Other than that, there's no perfect job.
The opportunity, how important it might be to pursue work that you're passionate.
You know what's really dangerous about pursuing work that you're not passionate about? It's not the stuff that he talks about, like, oh, you're probably going to have a miserable life and be not happy. I mean, that's for sure a reason too. What's really actually scary is all these tools that have come out, AI, no code, all these advances actually make your job really easy. And when your job becomes a lot easier, the competition becomes higher because it becomes harder and harder to stand out and be a unique candidate. If everyone is using the same ChatGPT to do their work, if we are all using the same tools and it's becoming easier than ever to like learn these skills ourselves, how are you going to stand out? The best way to stand out, your best chance at actually being uniquely good at something, being one of a kind at something, so you are hireable and you are invaluable and you can actually make good money, is doing the thing that you're most passionate about. So much data shows, and this is honestly like obvious when you think about it, that if you're really excited and passionate about something, you can be really good at it pretty fast. And the whole process and journey of iteration and learning and getting good at it is also enjoyable. So a lot lower friction to actually attaining that success. And if anything, we've seen that recently it's become a lot easier to make money on our passions. There's so many tools out there to build business overnight, and social media, especially TikTok, has made it easier than ever to attract large audiences, even if you're not a celebrity. You're seeing people make millions of dollars monetizing their hobbies on social media in a way that in our parents' time was not possible. So if you don't want to one day be no more or less valuable than a robot, really think about what you like doing. And go freaking pursue that. High likelihood you're able to stand out and really do something unique in that space. And you bet you'll make a ton of money and a great career on that. Because no one's gonna be better at being you than you. That was my biggest mistake, pursuing all these six-figure big tech clout chasey jobs. Now I'm finally pursuing my passions, and you bet I'm finally unlocking my full potential here. And I'm much happier, and I'm definitely gonna make a shit ton more money.
Okay, I have been in 3 industries: the truck driving industry, filmmaking industry, and the travel industry, right? And the one thing I have noticed is that, and I'm pretty sure this is in every industry out there, one thing they dangle in front of your face is passion. And I hate when they give this speech about, if you don't have passion, you're not going to be happy. And if you're only doing it for the money, you're not going to be successful or truly happy. And it's like, what job or career field you know where people aren't doing it for the money? Do they really think we're out here using passion to pay our bills? No. And it's like, come on now. Stop with that narrative where you think that it's supposed to be completely driven on passion. And I think they use that because it's easier to dangle that in front of your face, and they don't want to make it seem like it's a money thing, when at the end of the day, everybody out here with a job is only doing it for the money. Now, yes, if you are in your career field, yes, you're doing it because you love it and things like that. That's great. But would you still stick around if it was all free? If you weren't making any money from it, would you still stick around in that career field?
When you were younger, were you told that your passions and your hobbies or your creative side was just that, like just a passion? It was just a hobby. It was something that you did on the side. It was an extracurricular. I'm a multi-passionate, and I also work with creatives, influencers, and I help them essentially monetize their passion. So this conversation is actually interesting for me because I think that when we were growing up, our passions were belittled and they were kind of pushed to the side, and we were kind of forced to focus on things that were deemed valuable by society. And then as we grew up, in order to justify our creativity or our hobbies, we decided that like we had to monetize them. So then we find ourselves monetizing on all of our hobbies, all of our passions, literally everything, every idea that we have that comes to mind. Like, how do we monetize this? Because that's how we associate value with the thing that we really love to do. And I think that like trauma has forced us to get into this like aggressive resentment cycle that we have a passion that we love and we love doing it, and then we're like, well, how do we monetize it? We focus on the monetization, then it gets monetized, and then it feels like a job, which we already am like, damn, we hate that. And so then we're resenting our passion, and we're kind of letting those voices in our head exist where they're saying like, yeah, no, they were right, like, why would I monetize this? Like, this is just supposed to be on the side, this wasn't supposed to be my full-time thing. And then we do that with all of the things that we love, and we strip away that fire and that energy that we essentially came to it with, because we're focusing on the monetization aspect and like the money, and it becomes this job. And honestly, that's all to say, like, if you're multi-passionate, if you're creative, you do not have to monetize on all of your passions, on all of your hobbies. Like, they can just be hobbies. And I know that sounds crazy, because I think when we were younger, like, we weren't told like it's okay to really, really like that thing. Like, it's okay to really pour into that thing and like take time to do that thing and become really, really good at that thing, and not have to like search for external validation or the value of it, because being creative in itself is value. Like, it provides such value to our being, but to others, and then also to our brains. Like, we're using obviously a different part of our brain that needs to be used and essentially calms anxiety and all of these things. So it's like being creative is so valuable, and we don't have to put the external validation or traditional response of value on our hobbies because society made us believe that. At the same time, society also made us believe that those things were not monetizable, and they are. If you're multi-passionate and you feel this and like you relate to this, I definitely want to talk about it, because I also want to talk about things that like we're currently struggling with, and to just provide a little bit more clarity. And if you're looking to monetize your passions, like how I would advise you go about that.
Would you rather have a 6-figure paying job, but you're going to be working 70 to 80 hours a week, or would you rather be making less money and having a work-life balance? I'm currently struggling with this. I have 2 job offers in completely different fields, and the more money sounds enticing, don't get me wrong, but I'm currently working 70 to 80 hours a week, and I don't like it that much. So I'm really considering the lower paying job, just because I want work-life balance again. But for context, I am in my 20s. I don't have kids. Like, if this were the time for me to like be busting my ass, like, I do think that that's this time. But also, I just think that there's more to life than work. So I'm just curious if you guys have been in this situation, or like, what would you do? Like, seriously, I need help.
I appreciate you guys watching the video today. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.